Should I rock my
Shape ups.
Should I rock my
Whoa, bro. You waited to expose this.
Should I rock these
Wild.
instead of the Jordans?
Wild.
Yeah, man, quarantine's getting to me.
Wild.
I didn't paint these.
Man, it'd be a different level if you were the guy that painted them.
I just agreed to be an art piece.
Well, I imagine that your girl or somebody was like, hey, I'm painting nails. And you were like, I'd be down for that. Also,
It would have to be my girl, because otherwise it would be my roommate.
yeah. But also, it's like,
Hey, bro.
we're reaching that point. We're reaching that point of quarantine where you're just like, I don't know what to do. Like, if you are not trying something new in your house by now, then you're not doing it right. You're not quarantining right.
The CEO of Walmart said that it is hair dye week, and that hair dye has suddenly skyrocketed because everyone's just like, fuck it.
Is
So
it
I'm in
really hair
quarantine.
dye week, or they're just more saying the sales are crazy, so it's hair dye week?
Yeah, the sales of
Okay.
Walmart are people are starting to buy hair dye.
In my head, I was like, oh, is it an actual week that we've designated to hair dyeing? Was going to be amazing.
I feel like gay friends of mine got on that early. Like you after the gays were in
Dyeing
quarantine-
hair?
After the gays were in quarantine for like a week and a half, they were like, I gotta bleach it.
You know what's funny is that a lot of people are talking about all the celebrities who are stuck in their homes, who are like in the same position as everybody else, who can't get haircuts and stuff. And a lot of Hollywood's A-list men, you realize how fucking old they truly are once this whole... There have been so many celebrities who just like full-on gray beards, gray hair, gray eyelashes, not for real, but damn near, where you're just like, I forgot you were fucking old because you've been dyeing your hair so long in front of us that we never watched you get old, or we didn't know you were old. And now because you're quarantined and you don't trust your barber and you don't trust your hairstylist, if you get a hairstylist, now you just fucking, you're just, you're forced to look like you.
Well, they don't have any makeup artists either.
So I'm saying you're forced to look like you. You're forced to look like you.
I kind of noticed that on SNL this week. They did like a Skype SNL basically.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, SNL is still going with Skype?
They tried it this week.
How did it do? 'Cause the way you said that was like, it should be there last week.
Look, man, I want to be supportive. It's not their form. Yeah.
But certain shows can get away with that and certain shows can't. You know what it is? A lot of my friends call me and they're like, hey, you could totally do ridiculousness from home. How would you guys not be doing ridiculousness from home? And I was like, at first I was like, no, you just don't understand the audience and this, and you want to do it live. And then I was like, we could fucking do it from home though.
The way you should do is you should record it and then later on set up the whole set, but just do big like iPhones where you guys are, and then record the set.
That'd
Like,
be cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, obviously everyone's like, you guys just do it like a Zoom, and you just have the three of you in a fucking, and one more box that's the actual video, or you just have the box of the video in the middle, and then you three are around it somehow, and then your guest is in the other corner. I'm like, it's easy. Like, it's a show that I feel like you be more comfortable, and you be more yourself, and you be at home, so you can.
I've been wondering about how the late night people are doing it, because if you watch Stephen Colbert's first one, he was like recording on an iPhone, like his speaker was like, his AirPod, and like it wasn't very well produced. And now I think his like son got involved or something, but it's like I when I watched John Oliver, I'm like, John Oliver's doing this in a room alone. It looks like a set.
Oh, that's cool.
And I wonder how they did that.
How's Trevor Noah? Have you watched Daily Show?
I think Trevor Noah looks better too. But I imagine that's because he's young, so he can set up the technology to still look good.
Yeah. See, what's funny for me is that like I've watched some things that obviously times are changing. I watched the NBA 2K tournament, and I also watched the NBA horse competition. Both done horribly. Where I was like, man, the NBA and the ESPN didn't get together and like make the right calls on how to produce this thing. They just like wing the fuck out of it. It's like I shouldn't, as a viewer, watch something and be like, they winged this. They fucking just figured it out as they went along. I don't know how you wouldn't, if you're gonna do a horse competition and everyone's shooting in different places, how you wouldn't have sent someone or sent them an actual device that could check the actual strength of their Wi-Fi in different places, and wherever you carry it, it checks the strength. And then from there, I don't know how you didn't send them all the same devices. They were streaming from the same devices. They're all streaming. You can see someone who has an iPhone 11 versus an iPhone 8, and you can see the person who has an Android this kind versus this Samsung Galaxy whatever. And it's like, why the fuck would you guys do it like this? Send everyone one phone. If it's sponsored by Samsung, then say, okay, we're going to all film off our new Galaxy 12s, and we're going to all stream this thing from our Galaxy 12s, and just make the whole thing fucking Samsung. And like, let Samsung do what they're supposed to do and be their experts they are, and say, okay, we're going to make the strength of Wi-Fi over here. Cool. We have all the shots. It's going to look like this. They literally didn't test anything out. They were just like, yo, who has a room at their house and who has a phone? And 8 people volunteered, and they were like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
And they just really fucking did it, and it was horrible.
Yeah. I wonder. I don't know. Look, if you need to tap into some digital creators to figure out how to make your cheap stuff look good TV programs.
Cheap stuff.
Give us a
first
call.
of all, you guys have too much money to be doing cheap stuff.
Well, what I think what they did with John Oliver, my guess, is that somebody figured out, we're going to send you the whole package, and here's all you have to do. You have to set this up here, this up here, this up here, shoot like this, and then like Skype us in, make sure it looks good. Cool, let's go. Where it feels like with Stephen Colbert's first one, they were like, I don't know, shoot on your phone. And they didn't think about any more than that. But it's interesting to see people getting better. It's also hilarious to watch, like, Jimmy Fallon just feels like a vlogger now.
Yeah, and that's interesting to just see everybody kind of go into being vloggers, and
it levels the playing field.
Yeah, because one thing to see a TV personality on television, there may be a lot of takes in that, a lot of edits, a lot of work, a lot of writing. I imagine the writing is still there for all of these shows, but I do think it's interesting, I wonder how the editing process is, because are they shooting these things live now and being like, hey, we're trying to get this on one take because you're streaming this? Or are they like, no, we have to still protect ourselves and edit the fuck out of this before we can put this out? I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I noticed Colbert loves the audience, and he loves, because he's such a live performer. He's such like a person from improv. So he's still using his house and his dog and his kids and his wife. As they come in, he's like playing off of them. Mm-hmm. Where Trevor Noah, when he does his little act outs, as he does, where he goes like, and the president is like, man, maybe they came in the band. He's like, they punch in on him, and it feels like a vlogger. I don't really like it.
Yeah.
But I do think Trevor Noah is doing a great job. There's some editing choices where I'm like, he's still a late night host. You can you don't need to make him a vlogger. I
get it. We've had vloggers come on Ridiculousness who are quote unquote comedian vloggers or comedy vloggers, and they've been horrible.
It's a different skill.
It's a completely different skill. And it's like, hey, come and do this show that we do in one take the whole way through, versus someone who is like only knows the world of like, I do 300 takes to get one trick shot, or I do 300 takes to make myself seem funny.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, guess what? We don't. So let's see how you fucking do in this field. And people bomb all the time because they're just like, I don't know that. I can edit, I can punch, I can do this, but I don't know how to be funny on the spot. And I don't know. Kind of interesting.
Well, welcome to Wine and Weed.
Yeah, welcome to Wine and Weed. We're back.
Here's our show. We've been shooting it from a house from the beginning.
Yeah, we surely look.
Actually, we've had good practice to be shooting from the house.
People have hit me and been like, "Hey, Sterling, you created the best fucking show." I was like, "Why is that?" Because you can shoot Wine and Weed in your house the whole time, so nothing changes from you. You lose your set. You don't lose it. I was like, I never even thought about it.
We do lose John, and we have to give credit to where credit's due.
Yeah.
But we managed to. We have a different setup than we had with John, because John was technically directing. But yeah, it still looks good.
Yeah. I'm excited to continue to do the show.
Well, we do. Should we welcome and do our thing?
Should we do our thing that we normally do to make this show a show?
Yeah,
I think we should. So. Fuck it. Welcome to Wine and Weed. I am your host, or co-host, whatever you want to call it, Sterling Steelo Brim, a.k.a. that dude, a.k.a. Skateboard Steve, a.k.a. S to the B, turn your best to the Bree, a.k.a. Is that a third leg? No, it's just me, a.k.a. Black Mamba, a.k.a. R.I.P. Black Mamba, a.k.a. Concerned Father, a.k.a. Quarantine Corona Companion, a.k.a. What is it? Husband potential with baby daddy tendencies? Cool. AKA, I had another one.
Oh, I thought it was smooth.
I had another one that I just said. What is it? Yeah, Steezington.
Steezington?
Steezington is my new AKA, guys.
That's a good one. And it's me, the other guy, Chris Reinecker, a.k.a. the Corona Sewer, a.k.a. the Corona Sewer,
Ooh.
a.k.a. the Corona Cowboy, a.k.a. a.k.a. Black Toe Reinecker,
Yeah.
a.k.a.
Speed bump.
a.k.a. your new baby daddy.
Yeah.
And with us via satellite.
No. You better goop in those people's gaps.
a.k.a. the goop in your gap.
There you go. Okay.
And via satellite, we have joining us John Ros. What's up, John?
Hey, John Ros.
Hello, it is I, John Ros, aka the Article Assassin, aka the Gorilla in Manila, Brown Peter Griffin, Spider-Man's best friend, aka Johnny Tsunami. If you get it, you get it. Aka the Keto King. Still doing keto during this quarantine.
Nice.
And of course, a big sexy with the glasses.
A big sexy with the
Big
glass.
sexy with the glasses.
Oh, yeah, the lady. The man, the one who got their arm bit off in Tiger King.
Okay. Yeah.
Identifies
yeah.
as a man, even though it was referred to as she in the documentary.
But did
Anyway.
she just start? Did he just start transition or?
He said he didn't really care. They were like,
I didn't even know that was a group of people.
Yeah, they were like, he identifies. They were like, Joel McHale was like, you identify as a man, but the documentary referred to you as a she. Did that bother you? And he was like, not as much as it bothered everyone online.
Yeah, I always that's kind of interesting. I always feel like there are people and there are cases and instances of people who are like, I get it. You know, it can be quote unquote confusing for you and just whatever. I'm cool. I know who I am. I'm comfortable with it in my own skin. I am a man, but I understand why you are confused, so it doesn't bother me. And I always think that's interesting to just be like, because there are obviously the other side of people is like, fuck that noise.
Yeah.
You will call
It's
me
a trigger.
exact. Yeah, it's a trigger.
Remember
So,
my past gender. Yeah.
yeah, so that's interesting.
This guy's just like, yeah, whatever. But Joel McHale said who would play you in the documentary, and he said the guy who played Johnny Tsunami,
Oh,
and he just said Dead Ringer.
who played?
I don't know, but I hope that guy gets to come out of retirement via the recommendation of the person who got their arm ripped off. You know.
Let me see.
The end of the
We're
show.
back in the show and we are smoking. This week I have rolled up some more Quest. If you guys have not noticed, I am running low on weed. But luckily for me, weed is an essential business in LA, so I'll go make a stop today, I think.
I love that.
I know, I think we're the only. I was FaceTiming my boy yesterday and he was like, oh, I was smoking. He was like, oh, you smoking? I was like, yeah. I was like, weed is essential. Like, he was like, really? Only California can get away with that shit.
I feel like Colorado.
And that's why I thought to myself, like Seattle or Washington could.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel like Chicago could, even though it's legal there. I feel like they're still cracking down on shit.
And we are drinking Niner Wine Estates.
Yeah.
Niner Winer.
Is it from San Francisco?
It's from Paso Robles once again.
Okay, I thought like maybe 49.
Central Coast, baby.
Okay, you really read the Central Coast hard, bro.
Well, now I do. Now that we have a wine show, I gotta.
Y'all got Crips and Bloods up there?
Show my roots. No, we have
Latin Kings.
We have 13. What is it? What's the
MS-13?
MS-13?
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, Napoleon 13, Oceano 13 are like parts of MS-13.
All right, got it. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I know about gangs in my hometown.
I feel like you know a lot.
Well, that was really the only gang, and I didn't see it being too much. I didn't see any gang violence close up, but every once in a while you'd hear about it.
Shocked. Thought you were the gang violence, to be honest with you, man.
I mean, you know.
I look at you, I see gang violence.
Yeah, for sure. That's me.
For sure. We had Carl Anthony Towns on the Ridiculousness not that long ago, man. And just want to send my condolences and an RIP to his mother who passed away from COVID-19 complications. I think that's been one of the first like celebrities who like I would argue, I'm not in that man's pocket, I don't know, but I would argue has a substantial amount of money, seeing that he's an NBA player and he's a star as well, an all-star. So I know he's on a max contract and stuff. basically just has a substantial amount of money and still could not
Beat it.
beat this thing, you know, and it's not him himself. You know, he is an athlete who is probably in amazing shape. I don't know his mother's medical history, but I do think that just puts things into perspective for any rich person out there, any person that believes like, oh, I have money. They're talking to the lesser than, so to speak. I would never. I just think that, you know, this is a wake-up call and something to humble them and say, hey, no, this thing does not care about your race, your gender, your age. Even though we've been told it does not care about any of that. It is aggressive, and I don't know. I don't know. It just leaves me lost for words. But I send my condolences to him and my prayers.
Absolutely.
You want to get into the first article? The first article? Is that Rikers?
Yeah,
let's come off hot.
You want to do more serious stuff?
Trying to take me down from last week and talk shit to me about being in prison and all this other shit. Let's get into this Rikers article.
More than 700 people have tested positive for coronavirus on Rikers Island, including over 440 staff. At least 287 inmates and 441 employees inside the New York City Department of Corrections system, which includes the Rikers Island jail complex, have tested positive for COVID-19 as of Wednesday morning, officials reported. There are 4,353 inmates held in the New York facilities, according to official data. That yields a rate of infection within the city's correctional system of 6.6%. More than 7 times higher than that of New York City at large, and 9 times larger than the rate of the New York State. In response to concerns about the unique vulnerabilities of the prison system to spread infectious disease, Governor Andrew Cuomo and Mayor Bill de Blasio have begun to release some low-level offenders from custody in order to reduce prison density. In late March, the state's Department of Corrections and Community Supervision, pursuant to a directive from Cuomo, released approximately 1,100 inmates who are being held on technical violations of their parole. We have release dates that are only weeks away, the group said. Given the exponential spread of the virus, this could mean the difference between life and death.
Yeah, interesting. Well, we talked about this last week, and just to clarify, I feel like I said one thing and you kind of defended a different thing, and then a lot of commenters got on the side of the thing you were defending that I was never saying in the first place. That was like people will get out and commit crime. I didn't say that. I said people will get out and it will be so complicated because the family that's already dealing with 2 kids home and might have an estranged relationship with this person now has to also deal with a new family member from prison coming home, and not just like home sleeping on their couch, but like in quarantine with them all the time. So I just said it was really complicated, and that it must be even more complicated to run this whole thing via video.
And I think it was interesting because one of my first things I said in this was that non-sexual offenders, non-violent offenders, and people just kept arguing this thing of like, oh, well, then they'll let pedophiles out and they'll get out and do this thing. And you're like,
yeah, I saw that too.
Number one, people are quarantined. I hope your kids know outside. Secondly, I just said non-sexual offenders. So my argument stands for me at least. And we can have different perspectives on it. Not saying me and you, just saying people in general. But I feel as though there's no point of us leaving these prisoners in there if they have non-sexual, non-violent, and petty crimes, petty offenses, that we should be letting them out. And of course, you can argue it gets complicated and this, that, and third. But each home is different. Each case is different. And I think that is an assumption that I wouldn't do. I wouldn't say, well, I assume that it'll be difficult things. No, you look at each case just as you would for parole, and you sit down, they ask you if you have a place to go. They verify that. They call and make sure that you have a place to go.
Right.
And I think that is all I'm arguing, is that why would you want to spend your time in jail as sardines on top of each other, when obviously over 700 people, and like we said, it's more than that. It's even more than 700 people who have been tested positive for COVID-19 within Rikers alone. Also, I think it's crazy you got to go to prison just to get a test. That's also another thing I want to say, is like, for them to be like, yeah, over 700 people, was like, God damn, you've tested a lot of people within this prison.
Well, the reason I said it's definitely more is because it was 440 people who work there.
Yep.
And 200 inmates. And I'm like, 200 inmates that they tested. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's going to be way more spreadable via the inmates. And there was a New York Times interview this week where they interviewed different people in different circumstances. One of them was a prisoner. And it just sounds like in order to get on the phone, which everybody wants to do because they all want to talk to their family, you have to stand in this line that's packed. And then you're getting on this phone that everyone's on. And it's like
everyone's using.
Of course, it's spreading more than they're telling us.
You're not giving them wipes to make sure, oh, we're going to wipe down the phone and make sure, like, you put gloves. Nah, none of that. So you're literally just being like, oh, okay, I guess I'm going to use the phone that everyone's using. And also, I guess I have to trust each employee. It's 440 of them, only 200 and whatever inmates. I have to trust all of them to go home into whatever homes they are in. I have to trust them to come to work because they're essential. And yet they're getting us sick more and more. So this number's only going to grow. And where are the bodies going? Where are the bodies going? That's another thing that New York's been trying to figure out is that the problem's only going to continue to get greater. It's like, where are we putting these bodies?
The other point against mine last week being like, this is so complicated for them to sift through cases one by one. I noticed, and I think it's in this Newsweek article that John just read, but I noticed that there is a advocacy company who's like, you want to know who to release? Here's a list of them. Like we've been trying to get these guys free for these like nonviolent offenses a long time ago. We've vetted all these cases. Here's the people you need to start letting go. And I was like, oh, that's a great resource, you know? Yeah.
Well, I mean, nonetheless, that shit is super sad that these prisoners are going through this. And I know, obviously, this is not your argument. We wouldn't be probably doing a show together if this was your argument. But there were people who also wrote me online that were like, well, they should have thought about that in the first place. They're in prison, so they deserve it. I'm like, hey, guys, if nothing else, let me say one thing. Everybody that's in prison does not necessarily deserve to be there, guys. Like, and I think that's crazy. I would even have to say this. I'm not saying that we need to release all prisoners. I'm saying there is a huge amount of prisoners who are there for literally financial basis. The fact that the government, the state makes money off of them. I'm not saying that's all of them again. But so don't have that be your argument and have that this mass argument of like, oh well, they should have thought about that beforehand. What about the guy who's been appealing nonstop and he knows the state's against him and they want him to snitch on something that he has nothing to do with it. He's like, I can't get out because they want me to give up a name and this ain't even got shit to do with me.
Another level of that is, let's say somebody did rob a store and they needed to for whatever reason. Robbing a store or stealing from somebody in the middle of the night or something doesn't justify you rotting in prison and dying.
1,000%.
Like that's not what anyone believes. So
no, that's what a lot of people believe.
The punishment no longer fits the crime. You know what I mean?
I agree with you, but I think it is crazy that a lot of people do believe that. Believe it or not, like a lot of people wrote me.
Should have thought about that.
Yeah, and they were like, "Well, prison." Someone wrote me a simple comment that said, "Well, first of all, Steelo, this is the uphill battle because the first thing you have to do is acknowledge prisoners as civilians." Or not acknowledge them as actual citizens. And I was like, whoa, shit. I guess I didn't even think about that. The fact that a lot of people don't even look at prisoners as people. They look at them as prisoners.
Yeah, criminals.
Yeah, you're like, that's a person, motherfucker.
And they imagine that, like, if they let them on the street, it would be like that scene in Batman Begins where they, like, release the mental hospital. And they're all like, let all the villains out.
Yeah.
Instead of like the fact that most of them would probably just be like, oh, I want to see my family.
I will guarantee you this much. If you're watching this show right now, you've either done something before that was illegal or something before that you should not do, or you've simply been somewhere you shouldn't be. And that's a lot of people in prison. It's just, I was simply somewhere I shouldn't be. I was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and now I'm spending time behind bars because I fit a description of black guy between 5'8" and 7'3", and now all of a sudden I'm arrested and I'm in prison.
Yeah.
5'8" and 7'3" is the actual.
Yeah. You want to go to the next thing?
Yeah.
Surprise! Man waiting for stimulus check gets $8.2 million. New Chicago, Indiana. I didn't realize there was one.
First of all, I've never heard of it.
Indiana firefighter became an instant multimillionaire when his stimulus check ended up having a few extra figures. Charles Calvin was supposed to receive $1,700. I went to the ATM at the Family Express, and once I withdrew $200 out of my account, I looked at the available balance that was still left in my account. Apparently, my account had $8.2 million in it. I'm like, what in the world is going on here? Calvin told another firefighter, and they went back to the ATM to try it again, but it showed the same number, a cool $8.2 million. I said, what kind of truck are you buying me? Joked Captain Samuel Vargas. Knowing something was up, Calvin called his bank, who said it didn't see the amount in his account anymore. It kind of sucks. You go from being a millionaire on paper 1 second, then being back to broke again. But I guess once you're poor, you ain't got nowhere else to go but up.
So they took it away.
No, they let him keep the $8 million, Chris.
No. But I mean, like, I don't know. I wonder what that initial hour was like, and what he's not sharing with us.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. How would you respond? You go to the ATM right now, and you're like, man, I want to get a good 40 out to go, whatever. Get this little eighth of weed, whatever. And you're like, oh shit, 8.2 million, whatever amount of dollars. What is the first thing you do?
I want to say I would check if it's real by withdrawing, a fair amount.
What's fair?
I don't know.
And are you going into the bank face to face?
Oh man,
because you can't withdraw that much.
It's hard. Yeah, you're right. You can't get that much from ATM. Well, it depends how broke this guy is, because it depends how much was in the account before. If he had like a checking account and there was like,
he said he was getting $1,700.
He's supposed to get $1,700. So basically, just trying to take.
So if nothing else,
just trying to take $2,000 out.
Yeah.
To see if the other $300 is real.
To see if the other $300 is real.
Because he was supposed to get $1,700. So if he takes the full $2,000 out, and there's $300 more, but then he's kind of like, okay, well, now
what I'm saying is he still can't withdraw $2,000 from an ATM unless he had a strip club or something, or in Vegas. Like, no, other than that, I don't know if he can withdraw $2,000. He can withdraw probably like $300, $500 max from each ATM or whatever. And then other than that, you have to go in.
So you answered your own question. You go to the strip club.
He could transfer money from this account to another account.
Yeah.
To a friend's account to see if that number appeared.
That's why he went to the firehouse.
And that's what he could stand on it the whole time and say, I was transferring it to see if it was real, not to like use it or anything, but obviously he wants to use it. That's why he did what?
That's probably why he actually went to the firehouse. He went to his friend, can you believe this is real? But he was also like, what do we do?
But he's a fireman though, right?
Yeah.
I think he's just telling his friend, like, what the fuck? I got $8 million.
What if you were
wouldn't have told my friend?
A week later it was still in your account?
I wouldn't have told my friend, first of all. I wouldn't even allow a week later to go by without me having already taken that money.
So what's your move as soon as you realize it?
As soon as I realize that there's $8 million in my account, right?
Yeah.
And I do another withdrawal slip and it comes back $8 million. I'm not taking the money out. I'm going to just do another withdrawal slip, whatever. Cool. Balance sheet. Oh, $8 million. Cool. I'm going to go to the bank immediately, or I'm going to see, first of all, if I can go online. If I can go online and transfer the money, then I'm going to transfer that money to my friend or to myself, to a different account.
Yeah.
Just to see if that money even goes there. I'm not allowing a whole week to go by with that $8.2 million in that same account, because I know they're coming for it. If you lose $8.2 million, you're coming for it. It's not like, oh, he lost $8,200. If someone's rich enough, they might not see that.
Okay, can I play the scenario? So you transfer it. It works.
Yeah.
It works. Now it's a week later. What the fuck are you thinking right now?
What am I thinking?
Yeah.
Nothing. I've already bought two or three pieces of property. I'm chilling.
Yeah, you're like investing that money immediately as well?
What? I know it's going to go. If I can get stuff in my name, I can fight it in court. I can do that. I can take that route. If I can go buy some shit cash right now, I'll buy 3 pieces
What's
of property.
illegal
because
on that?
Because you're going to come back to me and be like, oh, you have our money. And I'm going to say to you, oh, no, I don't. I already spent that money on this thing. I didn't know what it was from. I thought I inherited it.
I thought it was my 8.4.
I thought reparations finally came through. I didn't know. I thought my family had a whole bunch of slaves, apparently. I was like, oh, $8.2 million. This is great. So after I buy something, okay, you know what it is? It's not the same exact thing, but this is a decent comparison. It's like if you're a songwriter, right? And I worked in music, so I can give a good analogy or metaphor. I guess not a metaphor, whatever. But you worked in songwriting, and you wrote enough songs. You got a publishing check. And your publishing check, you get a $5 million deal for a publishing check. If you want to go out immediately, once you get that money, you can go out and buy property right away, right? Because this money is given to you, and They hope to recoup it from you writing songs, but ultimately, if you never write another song, they can't take your house back.
So basically, the government it's not recoupable.
I would have been like, yo, you're not recouping shit because it's gone. I bought a house already. It's in my name. Now you have to fight me in court that this asset belongs to you. And now you have to fight me that, hey, that is my...
I wonder what
everything
what
is
does the
signed
law
up to
say? If $8.4 million lands in your account, does the law say that without reporting it, it's theft? Or does the law say that?
I don't know. I don't get into the law too much. No, but I don't know what the law says. I guess we can look that up. John, can you get that fact for us? He's not here. It makes us sad. We want facts.
Normally he would do that.
Guys, yeah. But no, I mean, I also feel like the law might feel like we don't have to write that in there. That won't happen. No one can fuck up that bad, right? And then the law is like, we got to take this L because we fucked up.
It would make more sense to me if it was $1.7 million.
Yeah, that's also, that is rather
because
peculiar.
It's supposed to be 1,700. It winds up 1.7. So maybe it's this. Maybe this guy.
It was probably 1,700 and it was 8.2.
Maybe this guy had literally $8.2 million to give to everybody. And the first account, he put all in that guy's account by mistake and was like, oh, fuck.
What guy? Did they say where it came from? I thought it just came from the government.
Yeah, there's a government man there somewhere.
Okay. Oh, did we assume that? It was a stimulus check and they accidentally put the wrong amount in. Cool.
Or women. Women can be incompetent too.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm giving that money back. You got to come after me.
I like it. I like your strategy. I don't know if you're going to jail for it, but
I don't know if I'm going to jail for it.
Well, if that guy gets coronavirus, he got $8.4 million. He didn't give it back. Sorry.
Yeah,
I just feel like every fucking sentence is now coronavirus. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
yeah, we
anyone
almost made
who's
it.
in jail gets coronavirus. That's insane.
We had almost made it away from it.
Sorry,
It just took us back.
Thinking about.
We were literally going away from coronavirus, and Chris was like, "Coronavirus! Let's talk about it. Let's get back into it."
Thinking about the fact that by these jails dealing with this, every crime has the same punishment, and it's fucking terrible.
It's terrible, and then also on top of that, they're also just being like, "Oh, well, we don't want to put our officers in harm's way either, so now we have to like change our fucking bar of what a crime even looks like," which is crazy.
I imagine it slows the court system down as well.
Yeah, I imagine it slows everything
So then
down.
are they now prioritizing like, well, if this courtroom is supposed to be used for petty theft, but we need to use it for murder, you know what I mean? How are they doing Skype like juries?
They're doing Skype lawyers or Zoom lawyers.
Oh, look, we have a segue. We have a story. But I have questions about how the court system is working right now, because it seems like the most easy place to get coronavirus in the world.
Florida judge begs lawyers get dressed for Zoom hearings. A Florida judge has one request for attorneys showing up for court hearings via Zoom. Get out of bed and put on some clothes. Brainerd Circuit Judge Dennis Bailey made the plea in a letter published by the Weston Bar Association, news outlets reported. It is remarkable how many attorneys appear inappropriately on camera, Bailey said in the letter. One male lawyer appeared shirtless and one female attorney appeared still in bed, still under the covers. Exceptions for lawyers lounging in the Florida sun.
Imagine you're a lawyer.
I know.
Cover up your poolside in a bathing suit, he wrote.
Imagine being like, so how did my hearing go? Dude, I do not even remember. I was still half asleep. Like, these dudes, they had their shirts off.
I don't know why you don't have. It's like Joe Exotic's boyfriend.
In my head, I thought they were saying like, "Oh, we want you to still wear suits," and I was like, I guess.
I kind of still want them to wear suits.
Well, just a jacket. You know, you don't have to see the bottom. But
Yeah, you can keep your pants off.
Yeah, but I also feel like if you don't want to wear a suit, if you got on like a nice shirt or like you just look presentable, I guess that's still cool. Like we're all in our homes. I don't know if the judge is wearing a robe. on Zoom.
A wig.
Yes, a wig. No one does that anymore.
He's like cosplaying as a 1700s judge.
He's mad that you guys won't get into the cosplay. That's what it's all about.
I need all of you to get into this more.
You guys are not
I'm
into
starting
this.
to get in. So I'm powdering my face. I'm putting on a wig. I got this gavel.
Did you not get the suit I sent you in the mail?
We're a court, okay? It doesn't matter if we're in Zoom. We're still a court.
Since courthouses shut down on March 16th to help slow the coronavirus pandemic, Broward County's judicial system has held about 1,200 Zoom meetings involving some 14,000 participants. Bailey, for one, said he won't hold a complicated trial over the video conferencing site, given the technology's shortcomings. Often, lawyers are not looking at their screens but down at their files, their outlines and notes, or simply out the window and cannot see the judge is hollering stop, stop because an objection has been made, and the audio stays with the witness rather than obeying the judge, he said.
Someone's got to create a court app. These app developers should be going nuts right now.
So you're just saying adaptation. That's the name of the game. Like, fuck it, someone's got to create a court app. Like,
people have created a school app, and
why don't we just
murdering
put certain
Google Courtroom?
I think we should be just doing Zoom worthy trials. I think we should just be doing trials that we're like, we can do over Zoom. I don't think it should be anything too serious. I don't think you should be doing like a fucking murder trial over Zoom. That seems irresponsible.
Also, just imagine like you're still in your like living room, but you're facing murder to your phone. You're just like looking like you're on a phone, but you're completely alone, but you're facing murder charges. It just feels so weird that you're not actually there.
Yeah, we can't. Are those
There's like a guard at your door, like 6 feet away,
wait, ready for you to
but
go?
You're just like in your living room.
Wait, are they actually doing those kind of trials over Zoom?
No, he said not serious ones.
Not serious, right?
But
okay.
maybe that this will be a way for us to do not serious stuff over Zoom all the time.
I like that world. I've been finding myself on Zoom quite often, and I like Zoom. I like Zoom because I like the fact that it's like, yo, we can get the fucking work. We can get the fucking job done without me driving over the hill to come see you and pretend and they getting stuck in traffic for you, all for a 45-minute meeting when we all have our notebooks and this and our laptops and everything right there that you need to have the conversation. And then everyone can just continue work as soon as you get off at home. No one has to drive somewhere else, start typing, or to do
But
this.
then they're going to give you a fucking Zoom of a boardroom with 6 people, and that is not fun to communicate with.
What
It's
do you
fun
mean
to have
of a boardroom?
I like having a meeting with 6 people and everyone's at their house, but I don't like, for example, we've done pitches where we do it to a boardroom, and they're all in one room. I wish all of those people had had laptops up, even if they were in the same room, just so I could see everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what
I
you're
have some
saying.
ideas about meetings.
Yeah, but like, okay, so then why is that a boardroom? Why are these people gathering together if you can't?
No. I'm saying just in the future, if we are.
I'm asking
Do you
again,
think we're
why
gonna
are these
accept
people
Zoom?
gathering together if you can't?
Well, because they're already at work together.
All right, I mean, then if they already work together and having a
you should
meeting, you
go.
might just go in there and
Okay.
take the meeting.
So that's what I'm saying. When we get back to regular life, are you gonna go?
This isn't a fucking thing for you to just become lazy. Everyone else is like back in the real world doing meetings, and Chris is like, I'll Zoom it.
I remember how
I'll
nice
Zoom you
that was.
guys. Oh my God, he's disgusting.
Look,
He's just on the couch. He's
Here's what you're gonna do. I know you're all together, but I sent you 5 laptops and just zoom into the meeting.
It's 6 of us. God damn it.
There's instructions on the laptop as soon as you start up. Just make a meeting with me very complicated.
Yeah,
I'm not meeting with that guy. That's complicated as fuck.
No, I don't know why you be zooming into like a boardroom of 6 people.
But in the future, I think courts should change to Zoom.
All court?
Not murder, but like traffic court.
Oh,
Why
traffic
do I have
court.
to go?
Traffic court 100%. 100%. You should send in whatever files you have beforehand. And they tell you what time is your court appearance on Zoom. You're like, hey, your time is at 4:15. You're like, cool. You send in all your files by 4 o'clock or they do not get fucking bread in the court of law. Zoom.
They would never do that though.
And then you send in all your shit. You're like, hey, this is my ticket. I didn't sign it, actually. We got into it about it. Blah, 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 blah. Here's all my proof. The judge can then look at it on their files they have in their actual system, and they're like, okay, I see that. The officer either shows up or doesn't, like real court, and he shows up and he's like, this is what happened. I remember like it was yesterday.
It's obviously a bot.
Yeah. Like, you're talking. That's not the guy at all.
It's like
this isn't even a guy.
That's an Instagram filter.
This is just a loop. Is this a boomerang?
He's just
doing this the whole time. You're like, the fuck? And then you get found guilty. You're like, you had a fair argument.
But the court's never going to make it easier for the person who's accused.
I can see the court making it easier on themselves, though, as well.
I would fight so many I would fight so many parking tickets if I didn't have to actually go in.
Oh, I'm supposed to pay some tickets actually right now.
Oh, sick. Let's do it on the show.
Thank you. No, yeah, I mean, when I first moved here, LA get your ass, boy. That's how they get you. They like tax you like times 70% on whatever ticket you got. You thought that you was about to pay. You're like, okay, cool. If it goes too long, you go in and you're like, oh, let me fight this thing or whatever it is. It could be a $25 ticket. I swear to God, I got like $25 fix-it tickets. Went in, and this was back in the day. I don't know if it's still the same process, but I would go in and I waited too long. It's a late fee. It's this thing. They taxes and fees. My ticket would come out to like $700 as I was leaving out.
I like that you hired a lawyer for a $50 ticket.
No, I didn't hire a lawyer.
Like,
but there were
after
people,
my suit, my haircut, and my lawyer.
Spent so much more money on a fix-it ticket. Ticket.
They were like, fine.
Why are you fighting this charge so hard?
I spent $700. You didn't need to. No. Hey, people in other cities. In Los Angeles, if you get a ticket for being on a street for more than 2 hours, it's $68. That is insane to anyone who doesn't live here. To anyone who doesn't live here is like, what?
Wait, how much do tickets cost everywhere else? I feel like in Chicago they're expensive too.
If you get a ticket in most towns, it's like a $40 ticket. It's like a $30 ticket. $70 because you parked somewhere for too long is insane. And if that compounds, it's over $100 because you parked somewhere.
And it'd be crazy when you know you didn't park there for 2 hours, and then you came back out and you saw a ticket, and then you don't see nobody. So you can't even argue with a motherfucker. You just gotta live with it.
You ever came out while they're already writing it?
Oh man,
that's the worst scenario.
Oh man, I think I already told this story on this show. I'm gonna start to tell it for 2 seconds. You cut this out, or say I already told it, or I didn't tell it. Did I tell you the story about when I was at the Louis Vuitton store and I parked out front?
I don't think so.
I think I told this story.
You told a story about being inside a fancy store, but not parking. Does it turn into racism at any point?
No.
Oh, then I don't think I know it.
Okay. I will tell a story. I think I already told the story. I hope I didn't. But this is a story of me being in Beverly Hills, and I had bought something from the Louis Vuitton store, and I had got the wrong size. So I told myself, okay, go back the next day, and you take your shoes back, and you get the right size. So I get to the Louis Vuitton store. I think I told this fucking story. Get to the Louis Vuitton store, and there's this Tesla parked outside, or like outside and like in front of the Louis Vuitton store. And I pull up, and I see these cones. And I'm like, who the fuck parked in like these cones or whatever? Like, I mean, like, why is nobody parked in these cones? Like, why is this area blocked off? Like, I'll take this area, like, just so I can like run in real quick, get my shoes, and come back out. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna park right here. So then this dude started honking at me crazy. So motherfuckers start honking at me. Hey, asshole, you can't park there. The dude in Tesla. I'm like, hey, who the fuck is you? You don't tell me where the fuck I can park, you little bitch. Like, I park where I want to park. Matter of fact, just for you saying that shit to me, I'm parking right here. So I started parking right there, and I see him, and he gets out his car and runs across the street to a police officer and, like, starts trying to snitch on me. And I'm like, who the fuck this dude think he is, man? Like, I park right there. I'm like, fuck this dude. I don't care about no fucking police either. So I go inside, and I go upstairs. Like, this little snitch-ass nigga gonna snitch on me for parking out front. What the fuck? So I'm like, all right,
what does the guy look like?
Like this, like, white or Armenian-looking guy, maybe in the middle. Medium in the middle.
He's like middle-aged, or he's like old person?
Middle-aged.
Okay.
Got a little black suit on and shit.
Okay. A Tesla driver.
Well, I don't know.
No,
Yeah,
that's the only
yeah.
description I got. I was
Cool.
just trying to picture him.
So I get my shoes. I swap them out. I come back out. The dude's still there with the police. Talk to the police officer. I'm like, who the fuck this thing is? And realized his Tesla had a sticker on the side that said Louis Vuitton on it. That was his parking spot. He worked at the Louis Vuitton store. That was the company's car. But I also realized I was way too deep into this game of fuck you that I couldn't back out. I was like, I knew I was wrong. I was like, oh shit, I'm wrong. That's this motherfucker's spot. And he was trying to communicate with me with his horn to be like, you getting in my spot. And I'm like, fuck you, this is my spot on some bullshit. And it really is his spot. So when I come back out, he's talking to the police officer.
It's still a strange reaction to go to the cops.
It is. So he's talking
Instead of like the manager of the store or...
Well, he's talking to the police officer, and he's like saying something to me. Saying something to the police officer and pointing at me, and the cop comes over to me, and I just say, hey, man, shut the fuck up. Don't say nothing to me, man. Walk away from me right now. I'm driving off right now. Ain't shit to say to me. So I get in my car, and I drive away. And I thought, whoa, man, Steelo, you handle that shit gangster as fuck. First you told this motherfucker, fuck him. When you walked into the store, then you came back out and doubled down on that fuck him and said, fuck them, because the police officer had joined in. And then I drove away and was like, and guess what? That nigga didn't even have time to give you a ticket because you didn't even talk to his bitch ass. And then I went like 2 lights and then realized the ticket was on my passenger side in the window. And I was like, oh, he gave me a ticket. Fuck. I felt stupid. I was like, I was wrong and I got the ticket. Fuck.
I don't think you've told that story before.
I thought I did.
No, that's funny.
It was just like me being like in my moment of thinking like, yeah. And then being like, you could have just avoided the ticket. You did way too much. Why didn't you just park somewhere else? That man was trying to communicate with you.
7. A retired priest became a porn star at 85. A retired priest has traded in his crucifix for, well, I hope not another crucifix that he just does different stuff with. Every day, once a man of the cloth, 85-year-old former priest Norm Self is now a man of the flesh. He does porn. Most retired men spend their time playing 18 holes. So does Norm. Sorry. Norm's new career has done wonders for him too, according to North Carolina retiree. He feels more vibrant than ever because his erotic energy has taken over. Doing porn has him living the best life in large part because he finally feels free. Norm joined the clergy at 18 years old and basically lived one type of life for his entire existence. After 27 years of marriage, Norm realized he was a gay man, and eventually that road wound and twisted until he ended up in front of the camera, apparently.
Oh, he's a gay priest porn star.
Oh, he's a gay porn star.
All the other stuff. Described by the YouTube channel Wicked Cool as a sacred, intimate, advanced tantrika and minister of erotic education. Not sure that's something that you can get ordained in, but okay. Self hopes his participation in the videos will help other people, young and old, to be free enough to be their true selves.
Okay, first of all, who's paying for this porn, Father? Because if you're just paying for this porn to be made, you're just buying men to have sex with and filming it. And being like, now I'm a hero. Right? Who's producing the porn that he got cast in? Are they really desperate to cast old gay porn stars, or is he making the porn now?
You don't think there's a market for gay old porn stars?
I don't think they're desperate for it.
I think it's a market.
I think you go to Palm Springs, you go, anybody want to do porn? And there's a lot of gay old men who raise their hand.
No.
I'm not saying every gay old man.
First of all, I'll tell you why he thrives in this market and why he's the guy that should be doing this. It's because priests, number one, can't have sex and stuff, right?
If he's a Catholic priest, yeah.
Yeah, so then that means he couldn't have sex all these years. So that means that, with that being said, that he couldn't have kids and stuff. So that's why he doesn't have any kids. He's also gay, but but he doesn't have any kids. So you know how hard it is to get like some old grandpa to do porn because they're like, oh, I have grandkids and I also have kids and blah, blah, blah. I don't want them to see me doing this. So the fact is that he's able to do this because he doesn't have any kids.
I'm sorry, did you say a lot of old people want to do porn?
No, you said that actually.
But they don't because they're grandkids?
Yeah, because they're grandkids.
Otherwise,
they be doing
this
porn.
body needs to be seen.
I think it's like one of those like last hurrah things. You're like, man, I used to fuck back in the day, and then something probably gets in your head. You're like, but what's stopping you from doing it now, Bert? I don't know why his name is Bert.
I think that should be his name. That's the right name.
And Bert's like, you know what? You're right. Nothing's stopping me.
I'm gonna purchase a camera and pay men to have sex with me on it. Call it porn.
Yeah, well, I think that there are people out there who are searching.
Unless maybe he auditioned. Maybe he like grinded out.
He could. Yeah, you don't know what he did. You really don't know his struggle.
I also am down to jump in on the story that maybe we decide to believe that this guy was celibate and homosexual as a priest, and he didn't get out his sexual energy, and now he's just making up for it tenfold.
Yeah,
but I'm curious whether I don't know if I trust priests in today's environment. So
man,
I don't know if I think incredibly
trust him
highly
for what?
Well, I don't know if that guy was just doing this the whole time, but now he's no longer a priest.
Doing what? Porn?
I don't know, man. I'm making judgments.
I think you're making judgments on this guy, man. I
You're
think this
right.
guy is living his
I got
truth.
it in my head.
I think he's living his truth, man. I think this guy is like, yo, I want to do porn. Was this guy doing stuff behind the scenes before? I don't know. I don't know this guy. I'm just more saying, is it a possibility? Yeah, always.
I love the idea that he went from no sex, zero sex to the most sex all the time. If that happened, cool.
Also, he's gay. And I don't know if like he was able to be out and open.
Exactly. That's the story I like, that he, wasn't able to be his true self, and now he is. I hope that's the case.
But in your head,
I don't mean to slander this man.
In reality,
He is
you
a
feel
good
as though
man.
there is a dark story to go along with
a
it.
dark story behind this whole thing.
Okay.
Where he was like, I'm not going to be a priest anymore. I'm going to do what I've always wanted and just make a bunch of porn with, and I don't know who's paying for that porn. Because if he's paying, if he got cast in porn and was like, this is cool, then that's cool. But if he's like running the porn and
Why do you think he's running? How the fuck?
Because
Bro.
otherwise, how do you get involved?
Oh, you're confused, kid.
Did he get involved in the industry? And
You're
how did that
confused,
happen?
kid.
I want to see a movie of this whole
Oh,
man's
no.
life.
You can get in porn, like, if you can perform.
But like, how? There's a Craigslist ad? How does he know? How does he
you
get
can
in
go
these
to
circles this
auditions. You
quick?
can dude. You can just look up companies and ask them, can you meet with them, that you're interested in doing this. They might say,
Okay.
yeah, there are ways to get in porn, dude.
If I look deeper, if I look deeper into the story and that's exactly how it happened, then I might delete all this.
Yeah, but I don't know that's how it happened.
Where do you think rare.us gets or rare? That's rare, right?
Yeah, rare.
Where the fuck do they get these stories? How do they find
They're
them?
just writing them each week, and we're just falling into the trap.
I don't know. It's
great.
so crazy every time. I mean, the writer is obviously funny. As
But
a
I
writer,
mean, but
how do you find this?
I do think that there is a world that there's an old man out there that's just like, I want to get into porn at a late age. And there is also a world where there are women and men and whoever else who search elderly men in porn. And they want to see old men fuck. So I don't think it's so far-fetched that this dude is into gay porn now. I think, okay, yeah. I feel like people watch old heterosexual guys fuck. I'm guessing they want to watch old gay guys fuck too.
Okay. Okay. All right. Big market? Like there's really
You don't think there's a big market in that?
and this guy rose above the competition. Okay. Maybe.
He also had a story.
He did have a story.
I
and
think his
that's why
story
I
is
could
great.
see-
Yeah, he had
and
a,
that's why I could totally see
he
the
has
whole thing
legit
happening.
He's a priest. His story is great.
I hope it happened like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm like going against my Catholic brethren and being suspicious of a priest in today's day and age.
And then we just edited in the actual article of him doing all this shit to these people.
Turns out he was fired as a priest.
What else we got?
NASCAR star Kyle Larson suspended for using N-word during virtual race. NASCAR star Kyle Larson was suspended indefinitely by NASCAR and his racing team on Monday for dropping a racist slur during a virtual racing event. The 27-year-old native of Elk Grove, California, was competing in an iRacing event on Sunday night when he seemed to lose communication on his headset with his spotter. During an ensuing mark from check, Larson said, "You can't hear me?" Apparently believing he could not be heard, he then blurted out the N-word. His fellow drivers in the chat were stunned by Larson's slur, with one instantly saying, "Kyle, you're talking to everyone, bud." We're extremely disappointed by what Kyle said last night during an iRacing event. The words that he chose to use are offensive and unacceptable, according to a statement issued on Monday on his team. As of the moment, we're suspending Kyle without pay while we work through this situation with all appropriate parties. Larson took to social media on Monday to apologize. "Hey, I just wanted to say I'm sorry. Last night I made a mistake, said the word that I should never have ever said, and there's no excuse for that. I wasn't raised that way. It's just an awful thing to say. I feel very sorry for my family, friends, and my partners, the NASCAR community, and especially the African-American community. I understand the damage is probably unreparable. I own up to that, but I just want to let you all know how sorry I am, and I hope everybody is staying safe during these crazy times. Thank you."
They said that when they initially said to him, when he said the N-word, and they said to him, "Hey, Cal, you're talking to everyone," and he said, "I'm sorry, I thought I was just talking to the nigger." I'm joking.
I thought that was real.
No, oh gosh, apologies. I was trying to talk to the nigger. I'm joking. No, well, I don't know how old the article was that John read. Thank you, John. They came out officially today and fired him. So no more suspended indefinitely. He's fired officially.
Good.
Today. And I just thought it was interesting because I was like, man, this is the first, I was like, he forgot he was in a virtual race, and he thought he was in it. He was in the game, man. He wanted to win. Let's start with that. Kyle wanted to win. He was locked into the game. He was locked in so much he forgot that it was just a fucking game. And it was not a real race. And he was locked into that virtual race so much that he got comfortable into his car and was like, he'll say all his words that he says in his car, whether that be whatchamajig, nigger, whatever it is. These are the words that he feels comfortable saying in his car. So Kyle said these words. And I think that the dude was like, "Yo, Kyle, you talking to everyone." Because let's start with this. This isn't NASCAR's first time knowing their drivers say nigger.
They're like, "Yeah, we've had to mute Kyle's car for years. He just screams racial slurs."
But no, it's just
as he races the track.
I don't think that they're just saying it just to say it either. I don't think that. I would like to.
He calls them his race slurs.
I would like to think that people are not just saying these words just say nigga just to say it. But I also know that when I think about NASCAR and the history of NASCAR, it's always felt rather racist. It's always felt. What does it not?
Well, I don't understand how this links in.
No,
Are you saying you're not surprised?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're not surprised that this guy, when he plays Xbox, says the N-word.
That. But I'm also saying the culture of NASCAR has always felt in that slot. No?
Yeah, the culture of NASCAR is the same culture of white kids who yell the N-word while playing Xbox.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think you're right.
Yeah, so basically just said, I'm not completely shocked. I'm just more that everybody else was like, "Hey, Cal, we turned off our headsets."
I'm just worried the guy doesn't know how to work a headset.
Someone should let Cal know we can hear him. That's what the dude said. "Hey, also, Cal, you're talking to everyone."
It wasn't "we can hear you." It was "you're talking to everyone," which kind of signifies, look, when it's just us, it's cool. Which is another weird comment again. You know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean. It's hilarious.
And 100% you do this whenever you play video games. To apologize with, "I wasn't raised like that." Whether you're raised like that for your parents is one thing. I'm not saying your parents are racist, but you have been raised in a community where you think it's okay to say the N-word while you play Xbox because that's why it came out so easily.
Yeah.
So it actually would have been a better apology to be like, "I'm so sorry, I was raised like this, and I know it's wrong," instead of being like, "Oh, that's I would never."
You think people?
I would never. Yes, you would, Kyle. You did. You
and
did.
You do.
And you do. And you've said it since.
You just changed your screen name. We still know it's you, Kyle.
And you know when Kyle explains it to people, he doesn't use the phrase the N-word.
And first of all,
He goes, well, I said, and he doesn't say the N-word.
there's no name that you can have on earth more than Kyle that is somebody that uses the N-word.
You're a NASCAR player named. You're a NASCAR racer named.
You didn't even
Kyle.
ask for this. We're not even blaming you.
It's like he has a Monster Energy sponsorship, right? Like that's just.
You have
part
everything
of
that
it.
Kyle would, right?
You
You know Jeff Lowe? Hey, Kyle, do you know Jeff Lowe?
what if in a week Kyle will have a job with Jeff Lowe?
I believe that.
No, Jeff Lowe can't afford Kyle.
I don't even know who Kyle is, but Jeff Lowe definitely can afford
I
him.
mean, if you're a NASCAR driver, you're
Not all
probably-
NASCAR drivers are rich.
Oh, so he's just gonna be like.
Did you think all NASCAR drivers were rich?
I know there's so much money in NASCAR, so I figured if you're a famous NASCAR driver,
But I don't know if
that's
he was famous. I think he
that's
might
like
have
being a famous NBA player.
he might have became famous from saying nigger. I don't know this dude. I'm not saying he might be huge. I don't fucking know. Let me look. I'm looking up his shit right now.
I think big enough to be a NASCAR racer, you're basically an NBA
no,
player.
no.
So you have at least like an NBA
Yeah,
salary.
but no, because there's still people who like.
You're not the best NBA
Never-
player, you're an NBA player.
Yeah, but if you're just an NBA player and you're number 8 on the bench, and then you say nigger and we know you, it's like you were not famous before you said nigger.
But was he making $1 million? Is what I'm saying.
His finishes in 2020, best finish Daytona was 10th.
10th at Daytona. That means you're the 10th best athlete in that field. That's very good.
But he's never even finished top. He's all right, man.
I'm not saying he's good
Oh
enough
no,
to say the
all
N-word.
right, I give him credit. His points, he's actually ranked 6th.
Are you giving him your sign off?
I don't even know NASCAR enough to be giving you my sign off.
Also, don't give this guy your sign off. You never want to.
I was saying more from the racing standpoint.
You
okay?
never want to clip. Of
I've
you.
been somebody before that's told you, hey, I will be the first to say R. Kelly should rot in jail, but he can write a song, okay? So I can stand here saying, Kyle, I do not agree with your antics and the things you say on your Xbox Live, but you driving son of a bitch. What are we getting into this? Oh shit! That's all I'm saying about Kyle. I don't know Kyle. WWE
I
is
think
essential.
Firing Kyle is probably the right move. Just to be like,
It's definitely the right.
it's the only move. Because it's like, hey guys, you can't say that.
Yeah, real shit. If nothing else, hey Kyle, you can't say that.
Kyle,
We all-
there's a whole culture of Kyles behind you that needs to learn that you can't say that.
You
So
know
we gotta fire you. You're
You know they started off with Kyle. We all like you.
you're at the pinnacle of Kyles right now, and we need to show the other Kyles that it's unacceptable to act like that.
Yeah.
So cut it out of your culture, Kyles.
You Kyles are gonna learn one way or another.
Stop saying the N-word.
Let's get into
when you're
another group
playing
of Kyles. Let's go into the WWE.
WWE to resume live TV tapings after being deemed essential business by Florida governor's office.
A state of Kyles.
WWE will resume live television matches starting on Monday, bringing an end to the stretch of pre-tape programming over the past several weeks, which included WrestleMania 36 earlier this month, that was necessitated by the coronavirus pandemic. Monday Night Raw will kick off its live return at WWE's training facility in Orlando, Florida. Also airing at the Orlando training facility will be SmackDown on Friday, while NXT will air on Wednesday from Full Sail University as per usual in Winter Park, Florida. All of these live events will continue to take place without fans in attendance. We believe it is now more important than ever to provide people with a diversion from these hard times, WWE said in a statement to ESPN. We are producing content on a closed set with only essential personnel in attendance following appropriate guidelines while taking additional precautions to ensure this health and wellness of our performers and staff. As a brand that has been woven into the fabric of society, WWE and its superstars bring families together and deliver a sense of hope, determination, and perseverance.
One of them tested positive for COVID-19.
one of the WWE wrestlers?
Not the actual wrestlers, but an on camera talent. So that says to me that it was either like one of the little announcers or commentators, or it was like someone's manager. You know how they bring out them, like Undertaker used to have a manager. Paul Bearer was his manager. Remember Paul Bearer?
Yeah.
He would bring out Undertaker, like it was probably somebody like that. It's like, I'm not an actual wrestler.
Oh, but he's in the cast.
I'm in the cast, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
a
all
performer.
That's all I see. I see wrestling as musical theater.
It's great
It's
musical theater.
theater
I love
for
it.
Kyle's.
Kyle's, calling all Kyle's. WWE.
There's like ladders and you're fighting people. I mean, we've talked about how we like WWE on the show.
I love it, yeah.
And I'm actually not that. I think it's cool to like, I'm sure they're going to test all the wrestlers and those people are going to perform for everybody. But sets in general are kind of disgusting and everyone's touching everything and moving really fast. And to make a show work, it's going to be really hard to make a show work, especially if it's live, while literally following all the rules of Corona you need to. So I hope everybody on the crew has a test that they are Corona negative.
No, they're definitely all getting tested. Vince McMahon will make sure of that.
Not just the people on screen, but also
no. Period. I
anyone
think that dude's rich enough, and he's got it figured out. He's friends with Trump. I think that he'll make like the guys who are
the third
all
one,
the guys who are
makes
friends
it
with
legit.
Trump continue to try to make their sports still like they're still trying to make them work. Vince McMahon, Dana White with UFC, and it's somebody else who's like
UFC is so different because UFC is a sport where WWE is a show that like relies on the audience to be like, yeah, right? Like it's so much of it is just them staring and the audience going, yeah, for like so long. So it's going to be a whole different live show.
It's I mean, you have to. I guess you have to perform for. You have to fucking write it down for practice or for rehearsal to be like, okay, well, how do we play to no crowd? How do we play to all of these things? Now that no crowd doesn't become a character in the show, or are we just gonna ignore the fact that there is no crowd and just focus on wrestling? Like, those are all questions as a producer I would have to ask myself, or as a director, be like, okay, well, is it the fact that, by there being no crowd, we can hide people, we can hide someone right there, a little bit right there to fight, you know what I'm saying? Like to sneak up behind him and hit him because he was somewhere that the crowd would, you know what I'm saying? Like shit like that.
Yeah. Or
like,
is there like music behind it? Maybe?
They already did WrestleMania. WrestleMania already took place with no crowd.
Oh, does it? I just imagine that, like, I just feel the awkwardness of feeling like,
yeah. And you hearing that.
and just like watching somebody body slam another guy and like no big crowd going like, yeah. Instead, it's just like.
Well, WrestleMania was supposedly a huge success. People said it was great.
Cool. I trust them to put on a good show.
They also.
They're showmen.
They garnered 738 million people watched all together digitally, and with 738 million people.
All the cows are working from home.
Oh my God, so many people named Kyle. But yeah, no, 700. It was some ridiculous number that they were basically just like, oh, we broke all records ever for
really.
Yeah, they broke like every record, and I was like, oh, is this the new world we're gonna like be in? Where it's like, hey, now everyone's gonna have to, tune into this thing because you can't go there. You can't.
Did they still play in an arena?
I think they're at their practice facility. That's where they're wrestling.
Okay,
from.
I could see that. You almost like making it into like a reality TV show, but it's like in the practice
They used to have
facility.
an actual reality TV show within the practice
so it's
facility.
like more on the ground. All right. I trust those guys. I'm just afraid because a set is a disgusting place.
But I do also believe that someone will definitely get COVID-19 on their set. And one of the wrestlers will. I don't think this is a smart move. I don't think this is safe. But I also understand Vince McMahon and Dana White and those dudes who are like, hey, this is an actual time. We can make so much more money because content is king. If we can supply these fights, we'll be richer than every motherfucking body. our stocks and the actual equity in our companies will go up substantially because it'll be like, oh, just like Amazon. It's like, oh, we're simply thriving because we're the only ones who can give you these different things right now. And now they're worth, what, $1 trillion? It was reevaluated.
So Trump just slowly greenlights only the news corporations he wants that are essential? Or no, media is essential, right? I get how they could justify themselves as essential, but I don't know. I guess it's a step forward in sets in general being called essential for entertainment.
Do you think it's essential?
Entertainment? I don't know if entertainment is essential right now.
Oh.
But I totally understand the
say that now.
money-making end of it. And I actually understand. When I read the article, I don't think they're being disingenuous when they're like, and we want to bring a spirit of positivity. And I totally,
They are.
I mean, they know it's the right thing to say.
Yeah.
But I agree a show does do that. But I don't know if it's a good example or a good time yet.
Well, but also, are you saying that because there's still content out there, still new content out there? It's like, you know, I'll compare it to something that you can understand. It's like if you watched all the porn, right, in the world, Chris, and you were done watching all the porn. Now you might be like, hey, maybe we should. Maybe making new porn is essential. I think it's the fact that you still have content you haven't seen that you're fine with it. You're like, entertainment isn't essential.
I'm already
and the
at
moment
the spot
you're
where
done with everything, you're like, maybe entertainment is needed now.
And that's how that's how sports fans in general feel.
They feel that way. They felt that way since the first fucking week. Me being an NBA fan, MLB fan, NFL, I'll watch it here and there. But me watching different sports, I do feel like, damn, I can't even. There's ESPN. What does their company look like right now? How are their bills being paid? They asked all of their employees. Not even an article we're getting into. They asked all their employees, all their on screen talent to take 15% cuts. All of them. They asked, could they do that for them?
I mean, I think people have to do that right now. I mean, a lot of people are doing that right now, I should say. They're taking...
No, I'm more saying that this was a company that, I mean, it's owned by Disney, but it's a company that, like, just a month ago, there's nothing in your head that makes you think ESPN might be done, guys.
No, they're going to be fine.
ESPN is going to go down. Like, now we're at a point where, I'm not saying ESPN's going to be gone, but you're like, whoa, what the fuck does ESPN have to report? There are no sports going on. The only thing they're reporting are old sports. They're just showing old clips.
You think I can binge? You think I should binge watch a season of like football or something or basketball that I've never seen?
I think that'd be cool. Like if you just watched all of last season, you picked one team and you watched all their games, and you kept up. Like then you would at least get to see each other team and other players, and you'd be like, okay, I know a couple of these players from this team and this team. But you followed the Lakers. So say you said the Lakers are gonna be my team. I'm gonna follow the Lakers. Last season wasn't your best season, but whatever. Or you followed the Raptors. So you're like, I'm gonna follow the Raptors. Cool. Now you get to see the NBA and what it looks like. And now this season, you would know exactly what was going on.
Binge watch a whole season? I think it'd be funny.
I don't think you would do it though. I think you'd be like, I get it.
I mean, it's hard. It's way harder to get into past clips than something that's currently going on, right?
Yeah, and sometimes when I watch old clips, I'm like, man, that was like, I've been watching some old LeBron shit. I'm like, LeBron, really? I just hate the people. I don't know why people want to hate on LeBron. It's the weirdest thing in the world to me. But whatever. I always just like, I watch old LeBron stuff and be like, this motherfucker is greatness, like truly greatness. And it's so weird that the world wants to be like, but I don't like LeBron or LeBaby or you'd be like, what did LeBron do to people?
People just don't like to hate, you know? I mean, people just like to hate.
I get why you might not like Floyd Mayweather. You might be like, oh, this dude's kind of arrogant, kind of cocky. I don't like his attitude. Oh, I hear this, I hear that about him, whatever. What the fuck do you have on LeBron to be like, yo, fuck LeBron?
That's how I feel about people who hate Barack Obama. I'm like, what's the problem?
Yeah, what's the problem?
I'm like,
if you
know what they
problem,
say?
like,
you know, they say, he's arrogant. They like say, I've like sat with like old people who are like, Obama. I was like, tell me what you don't like about Obama. And they were like, just his smug, arrogant, Harvard.
You know what it is?
And I was like, don't you want a Harvard constitutional scholar to be the president?
I hate to say this, Chris, or make it this, but it's if you're talking about old white people, it's what's scary to them is a confident black man. And it's not
it's probably right.
It's not arrogance. It's not arrogance at all. It's him being confident that they don't like. You know, they probably grew up in a time where you couldn't even look me in the eye. Now all of a sudden you're running my country. You're arrogant. Oh, this guy thinks, who is this guy? And you're like, this guy did nothing to you. It's the first president that's not white. We get it. It's hard to fucking swallow.
I also think they would think that's absurd.
Of course.
That race has anything to do with it.
Of course.
You know, I don't know why I got to Obama. Okay, we can go to one more article. I also have a video.
Okay.
Did you see the guy call in to MSNBC?
No.
CNBC? They were talking about bailing out billionaires. This guy called in and he was like, we shouldn't bail out the fucking billionaires. And the CNBC anchor is really thrown and tries to defend them, and the guy takes them down. And then I looked up the guy and found out that he was a billionaire. And I was like, this guy is cool as fuck.
Oh, I was a billionaire that said we shouldn't bail out billionaires.
Yeah.
That's cool. Super cool.
Do you want to watch this video?
Yeah, I was trying to pull it up.
Cool
Are you arguing to let airlines, for example, fail?
Yes.
Why? I mean, how does that make sense in the broader scheme of the economy?
Because when you look at what it means, this is why I'm saying, like, this is a lie that's been purported by Wall Street. When a company fails, it does not fire their employees. It goes through a packaged bankruptcy, right? If anything, what happens is the people who have the pensions inside those companies, the employees of these companies, end up owning more of the company. The people that get wiped out are the speculators that own the unsecured tranches of debt or the folks that own the equity. And by the way, those are the rules of the game. That's right, because these are the people that purport to be the most sophisticated investors in the world. They deserve to get wiped out. But the employees don't get wiped out. The pensions don't typically get wiped out.
Why does anybody, I just don't understand, why does anybody deserve, using your word, to get wiped out from a crisis created like this? How does anybody deserve to get wiped out?
Well, but just be clear, like, who are we talking about? We're talking about a hedge fund that serves a bunch of billionaire family offices? Who cares? Let them get wiped out. Who cares? They don't get to summer in the Hamptons? Who cares?
I mean, there are people. You don't think the employees? Hold on, Scott. You don't think the employees of these companies own stocks? I mean, own their stocks, own the company's stocks?
You can look on Bloomberg and you can see what percentage of these companies are typically owned by. These things are owned by BlackRock. These things are owned by these huge, amorphous organizations. Ultimately, downstream, and the employee owns a few $100s or a few $1,000 of shares.
Well, I just don't understand. This is like a natural disaster. And why does anybody deserve to get wiped out? Wouldn't that be immoral in and of itself?
No, because what's happening right now is what I'll tell you is on Main Street today, people are getting wiped out. And right now, rich CEOs are not. Boards that had horrible governance are not. Hedge funds are not. People are. 6 million people just this week alone basically saying, holy mackerel, I don't know how I'm going to make my own expenses for the next few weeks, days, months. So it's happening today to individual Americans. And what we've done is disproportionately prop up and protect poor performing CEOs, companies, and boards. And you have to wash these people out.
And I just thought that was dope. And then I looked up that guy and I found out that he was past exec of Facebook. His name is Shamath Pali Hapitaya.
Yeah.
I got to remember the name because I watched it. I thought he's a really smart guy. But I thought it was interesting that because we're bailing out a bunch of big companies with a huge chunk of the stimulus fund.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of like, these companies aren't going to cease to exist because we don't bail them out. There's going to be a couple people at the top that lose.
And I mean, I agree with him.
I don't know. I just thought it was badass. I also felt like the news anchor did not expect this, and I wonder why he didn't expect this talking point.
I don't know. Was the news anchor looking for him to be like, was looking for them to say what this bailout is the correct thing to do, or this is.
I wonder if he was like, but people aren't giving billionaires perspective, so let's give a billionaire perspective. And then that guy came on and he was like, fuck billionaires. And then this guy was like, well, we're owned by a billionaire. This isn't the opinion we want to push out there. And
yeah, no, I mean, definitely shouldn't be the bailout. Definitely shouldn't be going to these companies. I mean, they don't even pay taxes. A lot of these companies don't pay taxes, and yet they continue to benefit from these bailouts and this stimulus package. And you're like, yo, why is that you guys are never being affected by this, and yet everyone else is? And ultimately, it's just like because we're these big companies and we dictate everything. And I think you need people like that within the system, so to speak, or someone that is a billionaire to be like, hey, no, this shit ain't right. Shit is not adding up. This is not the way we should run the country.
yeah, there's something about the airlines where it's like, you charge us a bunch, then you fucked up, you go under, we bail you out, so you're probably going to charge us more to pay us back.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like, at this point, like, should you just be a public service if you can't deal with that? You know what I mean? Like, should it be like the train? Is that what the trains are like?
What do
Isn't
people
airlines
propose that we
privacy?
do with the airlines then? Like what it is our way of traveling?
Well, I think you have them go under and they have to sell. It's like AMC is doing right now, right?
Yeah, AMC is bankrupt or about to go bankrupt. They officially filed bankruptcy. The XFL just filed bankruptcy. That's Vince McMahon's other company, other than WWE.
The XFL is still around?
It came back this year.
It
came back. I think this year or last year. It came back and
Vince
literally they
McMahon.
just filed bankruptcy. Yeah, I don't know. These big companies, yeah, AMC, like you said, and I think Regal is next. I don't know.
So don't they just go under, then somebody buys them and then kind of replenishes, like, or maybe reworks their system if they
that
want
way,
to.
or they'll just bail them out. They may give them a percentage of money and say, "This is what you want back." Yeah, it can happen either way, but I don't think AMC is going to get a bailout at all.
You think there's going to be a bunch of theaters closing, a bunch of fully laid back theaters closing?
Yes,
I would hate to see that.
I think that's going to be the case.
Well, I hope.
I think that they're going to start transitioning and putting and pivot to streaming more. And say, okay, you know what? Disney's Onward was a film that was just in the movie theater, and it went on Disney Plus. And Disney Plus was like, okay, this is a way we can do this. Like, we get this many streams, you get this much money. Okay, cool. Actually, this isn't the worst thing in the world. It's testing out now this thing of people watching movies, premiering them at home. Let's see how many people are actually buying tickets. From Invisible Man to Anna to what else just came out recently that was supposed to be in the movie? Bloodshot, Lamourne's movie, all at home that was supposed to be in the movie theaters, and you didn't get a chance to watch them. And there are going to be films that were supposed to be coming out around this time. Marvel had to push all their whole thing back. And what world does Marvel say, you know what? Well, we have Disney Plus. And if you want to pay for the premium now for Disney Plus, you get all original content from Marvel and this and that. Like, they're giving stuff like that right now, but they're not giving full-on movies. But why would they not? Like, why wouldn't they not?
It isn't a bad time of course it's a bad time for this to happen. But we're more prepared for it now than we would have been like 10 years ago or 20 years ago. It would have really...
Oh, you mean like to be stuck in our homes?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like, it's not a bad time in our existence for something terrible like this.
It's not the worst time. Like, we're starting to hit that. I think it's funny is that, like, people are like, yo, how do you feel about one more month, man? We got to be in the house. And I was like, it is not one more month. What? We're going to be in the house for, like, 4 more months, 3 or 4 more months. Like,
I agree.
It's going to be some bullshit. Like, we're going to be stuck in the house. We just know that we can't tell people 4 months or they'll literally blow their fucking brains out. They'll go crazy. Parents are being expected to actually parent now. That they're going insane. They're like, I have to watch these kids all the time. This is a fucking full-on job as it is. Like, I have a job that I have to do work from home, and I got to take care of these fucking kids. This is 2 full jobs now. This is bullshit. No one's paying me extra for this shit. So, like, I just think that everyone's going to have to adapt, and it's gonna be interesting if this is what's to come.
I think I agree with you, and I think it will be. And I heard from someone earlier today, when this whole thing's over, by like May, or my dad was like, well, that person, he's like getting a tenant, and I'm like, but there's coronavirus. He's like, well, they're coming in not till mid-May, so it'll all be over by then. I was like, I got bad news for you.
Yeah.
Though. I don't think it's gonna be all over by then.
I don't even think even close.
Do you think we're gonna have? Oh fuck, we didn't do bingo again. Like, one thing I would throw on bingo is there Halloween? Do we have Halloween?
What does that mean?
Halloween is my win. Yes. Is there gonna be trick or treating, and is there gonna be Halloween parties? Or no Halloween? You think Halloween is too close?
Dude, they're saying that, and I know this isn't the measuring stick of everything. They're saying we won't have.
I don't think there's any chance of trick or treating.
They say we won't have any sports, live events, concerts until fall 2021.
And then people are gonna fucking party their heads off. What do you mean WWE is happening this week?
No one's gonna be there, but
you don't think by next summer you're saying live events.
Live events. But I also think that everyone I don't think anything will ever be the same.
No Christmas crowds, no New Year's Eve
I don't think
year.
anything will ever be the same. I don't think anything will ever be the same. Anything.
You'll never see that crowd. The biggest crowd you'll ever have seen is before today.
Yes. I think you'll be like, there was a time.
Whoever had the biggest crowd up until this point has set the record for like the next, do you think, till we die?
Until God knows when. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if, I think things are going to change. I was talking to one of my friends who works in film, and he was talking about filming something, and he was like, oh, we'll push back, obviously. And he was like, well, like, I was like, well, he was like, I don't know when I'm going to film again. And I was like, well, how's that working out in that industry? Like, in the film industry, how's that truly look right now? Are people pivoting and saying, you know what, content is king, let's make sure we're doing everything digitally that we can, shooting stuff within homes, whatever it is? Or are they just all playing the waiting game of like, if they're in a real film of like, well, we got to wait to film because we need sets and we need this and we need that? Or who is the person right now already thinking about how you can pull off a full-on set and shoot an interesting movie within a home?
I think it's a good chance for digital creators to step up because they've been doing it without money forever.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
John Ros, you show us what you got.
You just challenge John Ros.
Yeah, I challenge John Ros to make... I bet John Ros can figure out how to make a movie in a house, like not using anybody.
Full-on movie?
John Ros is really good at making things happen for nothing that looks super professional.
How many people on his set?
If John Ros was Stephen Colbert's son,
his setup would be way better?
Yeah. No, Stephen Colbert's son, I feel like is... I was thinking about Stephen Colbert's son. I was like, actually, a lot of people, any of those people who are on TV and entertainment jobs, not that they're... children probably aren't already set up, but they can be like I'm like, Stephen Colbert's son is now a producer of the Late Show.
Could be easy.
He should be because he is. You know what I mean? He's probably helping his dad set up as much as we set up today. But
you think he's definitely helping? You don't think he has like one person that comes in and sets it up for him?
I don't know. I'm really curious. Or like, because that could happen too, right? You could send in one person or two people who are quarantined together to set up John Oliver's garage, and then they leave, they disinfect everything, leave, and then he just presses record. That's what they probably do.
Yeah, but do you trust that one person to bring that one person in each week?
They got to be an OG. They got to be a person who...
Yeah, but still, they're going back home. You know.
Oh, to be corona free.
Yeah.
I don't. What if they're totally solo
They live alone
and you know they're not fucking.
because you have cameras in their house.
You just have to have a really solid, all-around video person who's asexual, who is an introvert, who enjoys their alone time.
Mm.
That's what you need.
And then maybe you can do a show.
No, and then you're like the most valuable person in film right now.
It's true. Hey, I want somebody that's gonna make a full on film in their home, man. Like a legit film that they like, put some green screens up in the crib and they did this and they got some shots, little baby explosions, whatever you need. I need you to create your own budget and you do that on your own and you shoot it and send it to me. I just want to see it. I think it'd be cool. That was it. It was the full thing. I'm not gonna get you a job.
All right, I'll do it. I'll make one for you.
Is it gonna be you?
Steelo.
It's gonna be a full-on film. It's gonna be an action film, though.
How long is it?
You can do a comedy easy in the house.
You ever see the guy who made Toy Story in real life?
No.
There's a video on YouTube of a guy who made shot for shot Toy Story, but just in real life.
You saw it?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's not good. It's impressive.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying it is.
It's more impressive though than
good. It's good because Toy Story is good, but it's just like, wow, you really did this.
It's impressive. You don't want to give him good because good would imply that he created something and he didn't create something. He just made it over. But it's impressive because how he was able to do it in real life.
Your words, not mine, but
okay.
My words.
I'm trying to help you, but okay. All right. Happy Easter.
Wrigley just farted so hard.
In your face.
Oh my God.
Let's get his reaction on camera.
Oh my God. Did we get? Oh yeah, Happy Easter. We didn't say Happy Easter.
We missed Happy Easter. Happy Easter. Happy Resurrection Day. We love you guys, man. We love you guys. Each week in, each week out, we think about you guys and we think about how much you mean to us. We're happy to be corona free, COVID-19 free. You guys stay safe out there. You wear your mask, your gloves, you hand sanitize, you wash with soap, wash your ass as well. Don't know if corona can go in there, but
wash
don't want a dirty ass.
And your wrists.
Yeah, get in those thumbs. You said wrists?
Yeah, and then you do this little thing, get underneath your fingernails, you get around your wrist, you get underneath your thumbs. If you have a little routine, you don't even need to sing happy birthday because like that's the amount you take. I go like this, then I go above, then I go above, then I go thumbs, then I go thumbs, then I go fingernails, then I go fingernails.
I've masturbated with hand sanitizer.
Then I go wrists, and then it's over. Like your whole happy birthday thing is over. If you have a routine, it's way easier than singing happy birthday.
What the fuck is this birthday thing?
The rule was wash your hands for 2 happy birthdays.
What the fuck? Where?
That's what everybody said.
Happy, like, what is that?
Sing happy birthday to you. That's how long you should sing. They tried to make it fun, and it was in a really, like, old-timey way.
What do you look at as 2? What is 2? Happy birthday to you. Is it happy birthday to you? Is that 1?
No, it's happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Wrigley. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Wrigley. Happy birthday to you. Then you're done washing your hands.
Oh, okay. So it's not depending on how fast you move your hands or how slow you move your hands, how much soap you have to how much water you have. It's just 2 happy birthdays.
The more soap you have. No. No, yeah, that's what they say.
All right. Sounds legit.
That's what they say.
I'll
or
take
you can just do my routine. I'm coming out with a video. It's kind of like Darren Stansgrooves. It's just me teaching you how to wash your hands.
Ooh, make it to a dance.
Underneath the fingernail.
Make it a TikTok.
Oh, this could totally be a TikTok.
Yeah.
Then get your wrist. Then get your wrist. Thumbs.
Bop it. Flick it.
Wipe it. Clean it.
Oh, we got it. All right, well, y'all take care out there. That's our show. What are we gonna say? Zip it up.
Zip it up and zip it out.
Yeah.
Oh, 420 special. Do you have a 420 special?
It's the first of the month. What's a 420 special?